Hey guys, this is Clint, aka C Money, coming to you guys with my first video. The reason why I'm making this video, guys, is I've got this 1960 F100 that's got a 351 Windsor 5.8 with the EFI. Now guys, I cannot tell you how many days, how many hours I've put in to trying to find out a problem with my headers glowing. Initially, this started as a result of my wooden bed delaminating and water getting into my fuel tank, and I didn't know it. Since then, I've torn the wooden bed out. I've been through a process of finding out that I had water and purging the water out of the system through the Schrader valve in the fuel rail. Back to square one, getting raw fuel, getting my truck to start back up. Everything sounding good. And then of course, my header started to glow red. And when I say red, guys, I mean red hot, to the point where I shut the truck down in the first 2 minutes of running. Got back to square one trying to figure out what was going on with this thing. Now initially I thought that the head gasket was blown, so of course I pulled everything off down to the short block, took the heads to the machine shop, went back up with new gaskets, put the heads back on, got everything bolted back up, and fired this thing back up, hoping that that would solve the problem, only to find out that I was right back to glowing headers. And I read and I searched and I called people that I knew. Shout out to Pete's Garage for helping me along the way with quite a few things. Shout out to a guy named Zion and a guy named David that I met through this process, reading on forums and contacting them that had similar issues. Unfortunately, well, fortunately for you guys, I've found out something that I didn't find anywhere on the web. And that being said, let's get right into it. On my EFI system, I had what's called an idle air control valve that is controlled electronically. Now, let's rewind a second. Going back to the headers glowing, I got a lot of people that commented and said, your timing is off. You need to adjust the timing, advance it, too retarded, and it'll burn this way. And I went back and forth with people online. I even had a guy tell me that my headers had lost the tensile strength, that I needed a new set of headers. Well, come to find out, after days of working on this thing, and for you guys, hopefully don't have a bunch of money and are trying to do this at home, or if you have this problem and you don't have a bunch of money, and before you start throwing a bunch of parts at it, I'm going to save you some of the headache. There was the culprit. Inside of that idle air control valve that's electronically controlled, there is a plunger. And that plunger is made of a composite material. When that plunger is deteriorated or melted where it seats, or makes a seal, if you will, it's not going to operate properly. It's going to make a high-pitched heel, like a reel or a whining, a sucking noise. And that solved the problem, guys. That solved the problem right there. I hope this video, which is my first, is a big help to you guys out there who are shaking your head and you can't get this thing figured out and you've got glowing headers. Check your idle air control valve if you have one. Thanks guys for watching. I'm gone.